And to begin, I want to give a huge shout out to the best Lieutenant Governor in America, Tina Smith, fabulous partner and leader of our state. You know, there's a bar in Washington, D.C. called Bullfeathers. And the story behind its name is that when Theodore Roosevelt became president, he continued to call bullshit everything he thought deserved it. His aides implored him, "Sir, you're president of the United States. Please, please, find another word." So while he refused to give up the riding ring for his children and their pony on the second floor of the White House, or a boxing ring there for himself, he agreed to substitute the word bullfeathers. We've already heard tons of bullfeathers from Republican candidates for president, and now Republican legislators are using it here. They're claiming credit for our $1.8 billion state budget surplus. What bullfeathers. Their Republican governor left me a projected $6 billion deficit in 2011. And for the next 2 years, the Republican majorities in the legislature did everything possible to make a bad situation even worse. Cut, gut, borrow, blame, complain, 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 complain. You know, Republicans believe that government does everything badly and then given the chance to go out to prove themselves correct. Just ask the folks in Flint, Michigan. Finally, with the DFL legislature in 2013, we began to clean up that Republican mess and build a better Minnesota. We increased state income taxes on the richest 2% of Minnesotans, as I first proposed in 2009. That tax increase erased the budget deficit, repaid our schools, and funded universal all-day kindergarten. Since then, our state's economy has improved. Republicans said all our businesses would leave. They were wrong. CNBC rated us the #1 state in the nation for business last year. Republicans said we'd lose jobs. They were wrong again. There are more jobs in Minnesota now than ever before. Our statewide unemployment rate is down to 3.5%. Gallup just rated us the #1 state in the nation for job creation in 2015. You know, I've decided that the reason that Republicans are so often on the right is because they're so often in the wrong. But we also know that there are still too many Minnesotans whose lives aren't getting better. Laid-off workers on the Iron Range are running out of unemployment benefits. There are terrible economic disparities in North Minneapolis and elsewhere. I tried to call a special legislative session to help. DFLers said yes. Guess who said no? In fact, Republican legislators said they would agree to provide $29 million in extra benefits to unemployed steelworkers only if we cut business taxes by $272 million. They said they'd give some help to North Minneapolis, only in return for private school tuition tax credits for people making up to $48,000. Accepting their proposals would be like taking water quality advice from the governor of Michigan. But it sure shows whose side they're on and whose side we're on. That's why next November's election will be so critical for our state and our nation. We'll decide the legislative majorities in our House and Senate for the last 2 years of my last term. It's also going to decide who will lead our country as president for the following 4 years. Ken Martin, our tremendous DFL party chair, has brought to us tonight 2 Democratic leaders who want to lead our party to victory and our country to future growth and prosperity. Thank you, Ken, and Associate Chair Marge Hoffa, for all of your outstanding work and for tonight's program. I did not meet Senator Bernie Sanders during my 6 years in the U.S. Senate because he was then serving in the House. However, I not only served with then Senator Hillary Clinton, I also sat next to her in the Senate chamber. So I want to tell you briefly why I support her to become our country's next president, while respecting those of you who prefer Senator Sanders. I saw Hillary up close in the Senate. I could share reasons to support her for the rest of the night, but I'll pick just one. Hillary chaired our Democratic Caucus's steering committee that reached out to all of our progressive friends and allies who were being shut out by the Bush administration and the Senate Republican majority. Every week, she met with the leaders of LGBT, education, labor, minority, environmental, and other progressive groups from all over the country. There was usually no press coverage. Sometimes she and I were the only senators in the room. Sometimes she was the only senator, but she was always there, listening, taking notes, helping wherever possible, because she truly, deeply cared about our people and their problems. So when I hear some DFL activists saying that she's not progressive enough, I wish you could see the Hillary Clinton that I know. I wish you could see how she has fought again and again for the progressive causes that you and I and she share. Then I remember that, some DFL activists said I wasn't progressive enough when I ran for governor in 2010. In fact, some of them even locked me out of the DFL state convention. Literally, locked me out of the convention hall. But fortunately, we united together that fall. Otherwise, I would not have been elected. And then a Republican governor would have signed the 57 Republican bills that I vetoed. If you can bear to look at the Republican presidential candidates, you realize that this election is ours to lose. But we could lose it. And losing the presidential election could very well cost us the DFL majorities in the Minnesota House and even the Senate. We need Tom Bach back as Senate Majority Leader in 2017. And we need Paul Thiessen back as Speaker of the House. I know the things Republican majorities would try to do because I've stopped so many of them. But stopping awful things from happening is not the same as making progress. We've turned this state around in the last 5 years, and we're moving it farther ahead. Republicans want to roll it back and give more and more tax breaks to the rich and the super rich. That's their one and their only priority. So here's the choice. 10, 20, 30 years from now, will it matter that Minnesotans get a tax cut averaging 60 cents a day? Or will it matter that Minnesota has the world's best education system, so every child, whether born into poverty or privilege, can succeed in the global economy? That we have good streets and highways, safe bridges, and quality public transit, moving our citizens to good jobs with growing incomes and secure retirements. That the world's best workforce has the world's best working conditions, including paid parental and family leaves, and quality, affordable health care, as many are getting now through MNsure, Minnesota Care, and MA. That all Minnesotans have clean water and air from clean energy. A 60-cent tax cut now, or a better Minnesota for now and the future? The choice in November's election should not be clearer or more important. And we will win only if we all work together. Thank you.